Hello everybody, Trano here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Churchill AVRE Petard, which is the main prize of the Operation Overlord event. So you'll probably notice a few things about this tank. The amount of tracks that have been fitted, the new main gun, and of course it's coming in at a very low battle rating. So rank 2 battle rating 2.7, usually you wouldn't get a Churchill until 3.3. And the reason it is at such a low battle rating is to do with this main gun, the 230mm Petard mortar. And it's a bit of a double-edged sword when using this weapon. So you can carry 16 shots, and it's got a very long reload rate of 26 seconds, vertical guidance of -3 to +15, and a targeting speed of 14 degrees horizontal, 5.6 in the vertical. And it fires the #1 demolition bomb. Now, at first glance, this looks to be a very powerful weapon, 63mm penetration. You can take down pretty much any tank at this battle rating. And even in higher battle ratings, if you aim for weak spots, you can even take down King Tiger tanks and the like. Unfortunately, it's only got a 50 meters a second muzzle velocity, and it's got an extremely short range, which I will demonstrate for you right now. So, here we are on the testing ground, and there is the first tank, the Panzer II, about 200 meters away. Our aiming gradients only go up to about 150. I'm aiming at the maximum elevation, and I'm going to fire the weapon. Not sure I'm quite on target, but that's not really going to matter because our shot is not even going to reach at maximum elevation. And that's not exactly a particularly far away target. So we're going to get closer. We're probably going to have to get to point blank, to be honest, or near enough. And you can see we've reached our top speed of 17 miles per hour, so not the fastest tank in the world, to be honest. And so there is the Panzer II, and we're going to aim for, well, it says about 40 metres. We're going to aim there. You may think that's excessive. We are at point blank range, but even then, we did hit the target, but you could see that it was starting to drop pretty much as soon as it left the barrel. And it drops very, very quickly. And just to demonstrate against the Panzer IV, yep, takes that out pretty easily. There's the Panther. Yep, we can take out the Panther. Right, and now for the big daddy tank of them all, the King Tiger tank. Like I said, if you just aim for the front of the mantlet there, go through that thin hull roof armour. So you can take out even the most heavily armoured tanks, but you're probably not going to be able to because you will have to get pretty much point blank range, and this is a very slow tank. We'll go back to the hangar. So, yeah, that is the main feature of the Churchill AVRE, and it is pretty heavily armoured. So, you've got 89mm maximum armour for the front. And again, for the turret, but you've also got some applique armour on the turret, so 25.4mm, plus the tracks. I know it says 30mm, but tracks only have a 0.75 multiplier, so they're actually nearer to 22mm actual armour. But still, that, at the lower tiers, with an already heavily armoured tank. And again, the sides of the turret, 89.9mm. You've got 25 additional millimeters from applique armour, plus the tracks. And you can see covering the ammunition, you've got your side armour of 63.5mm, plus a whole bunch of applique armour on top. So that's going to be a tough shot to do, you know, with lower penetrating weapons at this tier. And then the rear of the tank is 76mm for the turret and 50mm for the hull. So extremely heavily armoured. But yeah, if you want to try and take down this tank, it has got very thin hull roof armour, so only 19mm to 25mm for the front. For the engine deck, it's only 15mm. The turret roof is only 19mm. So get some high explosive on there, and that probably will do the tank in, or at least heavily damage it. Because a lot of tanks are definitely going to struggle to penetrate that frontal armour. Then again, it's going to need to be because, as we saw, it's only got a top speed of 17.5 miles per hour on 4 gears going forward, 1.6 miles per hour on 1 gear going backwards. And then you've got your crew of 5, driver, machine gunner in the hull, and your loader, commander, and gunner in the turret. And yeah, like I say, it's a very slow tank. It's got a very slow reloading weapon, and the weapon is not particularly effective at anything above throwing distance, basically. Which sort of leads to my other question, is it worth getting this tank? Personally, I would say no. So to unlock a tank, you need to complete various tasks. You need to complete 6 stages, and for that you need to get 35,000 mission points. And that's going to take a long time. There's a lot of playing, and like I say, for the vehicle you get at the end, I just don't think it's worth it. Personally, it's just more of a gimmick. I mean, it's good that it is in the game, I suppose, but I think it should have been a much lower mission score. Maybe 30,000 at the very upper limit. And honestly, I think something like 25, 20,000 would have been a better mission score to acquire. At the moment, it's just way too high, just way too much effort for not really any particularly good gain, to be honest. So, interesting tank, and it would have been nice to see something like this in the regular tech tree, but as a vehicle people are going to have to put a lot of time into, it's just... I think it's too much of a gimmick to be actually useful in-game, I'm afraid. So anyway, that is my first look at the Churchill Avery Petard. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, hopefully you'll join me for the next one. I've been Tyranno, and I'll see you next time.